You are not going to believe what is sitting here next to a shipping container. This is a $500,000 bucket of carbon fiber and metal. It's a McLaren 765 LT. This isn't just a normal supercar. This is the hardcore, long-tail, track-focused beast. There are only 765 of these in the entire world, and somehow one of them ended up here at a salvage auction. Usually when a car this rare crashes, it's all over the internet. You search Red 765 LT crash, and boom, it's there. But this one, I can't find a single thing about it. It's a ghost. But looking at the damage, it tells a pretty violent story. It looks like the driver clipped something hard on the front right corner. The carbon mirror is hanging on by a thread. That's painful to look at. But down here is where it gets expensive. The suspension is exposed, the cooling is busted, and the carbon fiber bumper is just shattered. It looks like the impact ripped everything away from the frame. Honestly, I don't think the frame is twisted, but on a car this expensive, you never know until you strip it down. Check out the frunk. It's basically a graveyard for expensive parts. We've got the headlight assembly, broken carbon vents, even the trash in this car is worth more than most people's daily drivers. But here is the miracle. Look at this interior. It is absolutely mint. Alcantara, carbon bucket seats, and look closely. The airbags didn't deploy. That is a massive win for whoever buys this. That saves thousands in repairs right there. Walking around to the back, it's like a brand new car. The engine, the transmission, that crazy quad exhaust, it's all untouched. It's wild to see one side destroyed and the other side perfect. There is no doubt in my mind, this car is getting saved. You don't part out a 765 LT unless it's burned to the ground. It's going to take a lot of cash and a lot of carbon fiber, but this beast will be back on the road. What do you guys think? Is it worth the headache to rebuild, or is it too far going?
When I saw this thing listed online, I just thought, okay, cool Raptor. Maybe it had a bumper and a lift kit. It looked decent. But now that I'm standing in front of it, I was completely wrong. This isn't just a Raptor, and it definitely isn't stock. First off, this is the Big Daddy. It's a Raptor R. That means we've got the Predator V8, the same supercharged monster you get in the GT500. But look at this intake. It's full carbon fiber, huge diameter, and completely missing the air filter. That is a massive red flag for an off-road truck, and we'll get back to that in a second. But the engine isn't even the craziest part. Look at this suspension setup. I sent some pictures to a buddy of mine who knows these trucks, and he thinks there could be $50,000 in aftermarket suspension work here. We're talking upgraded control arms, massive bypass shocks. Someone built this thing to jump houses. And the bodywork matches the suspension. These aren't factory fenders. They're way wider. And back here, this isn't even the factory bed anymore. It's a complete fiberglass replacement to clear those massive tires. Check out the bed. Tire rack, spare mounts. It's fully prepped for Baja. Underneath, the back is just art. Trussed rear axle, onboard air compressor system, and look at the exhaust. It doesn't go out the back. It dumps right here under the bed. Whoever built this didn't cut corners. They built a serious machine. Inside, it's surprisingly clean. It's got the carbon package. Everything looks mint. But then you see this. A harness bar in the back seat? You don't put that in a truck unless you plan on getting some serious airtime. So, here is the million-dollar question. Why is it at a salvage yard? The guys inside told me it won't start. My guess is someone ran it hard in the desert with no air filter and dusted the engine. But honestly, even if you have to drop 20 grand on a new crate engine, with all these suspension parts, this might be the steal of the auction. This thing is absolutely getting saved.
You know, usually throwing a set of HREs on a car is an instant win. They make everything look 10 times better. But on this McLaren, these things have seen better days. The front is totally jacked, the rear's bent, The car looks sick sitting that low, but that's definitely not a factory stance. We've got spare wheels sitting on pallets, which is never a good sign. Looks like at least one of the rears survived, so that's a couple $1,000 saved right there. But as we wrap around, you realize pretty quickly why this thing is here. And there it is. The front corner is completely blown off. But look closer. It's not just bodywork. That carbon fiber tub is split apart, delaminated in what looks like 10 different layers. The suspension ripped the control arms right out of the chassis. That's catastrophic structural damage. Now, the big question with these rear mid-engine cars, did the hit reach the drivetrain? I'm looking underneath, and honestly, it looks surprisingly clean. The transmission case looks intact, nothing seems cracked on the mounts. I'm cautiously optimistic that the heart of this beast is still alive. Inside, it's your typical salvage yard scene. Broken glass, safety systems deployed. But looking past the mess, the seats actually look salvageable, and the driver's side isn't too torn up. It gives us something to work with. Here's the reality. With that carbon tub split open, this chassis is toast. It's not a rebuild candidate. But if that engine and trans are good, this is a 10 out of 10 parts car. We're not fixing it, we're stripping it.
Another day, another stolen TRX at the auction. You can tell they did this one dirty. We open the door, and yep, there it is. The classic theft setup. Panels ripped off, wires hanging, and the neutral release strap just dangling there. And of course, look at the center console. The build number plaque is gone. They always rip those off as a souvenir. Moving to the back, the interior actually isn't trashed, which is rare. They managed to force the rear slider window off the tracks without shattering it. I'll call that a win. Outside, it's honestly clean, just dirty from sitting in the yard. The front tow hook is pushed back a bit, but that's minor. Pop the hood, and it's a relief. Nothing is stripped, no aftermarket junk. It looks like a completely stock, unmolested 6.2-liter supercharged V8. Well, except for the sticker residue on the windshield that says, "Wet shit only." Classy. Engine starts, and she's alive. Only 16,000 miles on the clock. It fires right up, sounds healthy. We've got a check engine light, but on these stolen recoveries, that's usually just because of the disconnected electronics. Honestly, these stolen TRXs are becoming a bit redundant. It's a perfectly good truck that just had a rough night out. It runs, it drives, it just needs some plastic trim pieces. Can you even call this a rebuild? I don't know, but someone's going to get a steal on this one.
Another stolen TRX, back to back. It's unreal. Let's see what we're dealing with on this one. And of course, there's a thanks for coming in paper floor mat. Real thoughtful considering the circumstances. The neutral strap is pulled, standard stolen truck procedure. But look at the passenger side. They really tore into the dash. The whole glove box area is shredded. There's something odd in the back, though. No sliding rear window. You almost never see that option missing on a TRX. And the headliner, pulled down in the back with clips missing. There's always something up there, some module or tracker they're hunting for. Let's fire it up. Starts without hesitation, 12,000 miles on the clock. Looking around to the back, this one actually has fewer miles than the red truck. But listen to this. It's definitely louder. The motor sounds strong.